Umapati Jagadambari. This morning, we join together those fathers who fulfill their role as fathers, join in giving thanks, express Master. Om Shri Om Devavinandi Mangala Swada Kamsaja Nitindriyam Budhimatam Varishtam Vadatmajam Varaniyutamokam Shri Ramanutam Shri Namami. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. We join together now as we engage in kirtan. I invite you to join together from your homes as we sing lustily and glorify the name of the Lord.
Bye.
We join now together as we continue to glorify Bhagavan, sing His glory, sing His praises. We join together this morning in Shiv Chalisa. Let us all join together and praise Shiv Bhagavan. Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Sapoi Jai Sitaram, everyone. All persons who are viewing as we join together this beautiful Sunday morning in Satsang, in Puja. Let me at the onset once more extend and express on behalf of myself, on behalf of my Dulhan, Neela, and indeed my entire family, a very, very happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. I also take the opportunity on behalf of the chairman, Mr. Maldi Maharaj, Father himself, and all of the members of the management committee of the Krishna Mandir to extend very happy Father's Day. On behalf as well of Mrs. Anuri Tiwari, the president of the Sri Sevak Sabha, I want to extend again happy Father's Day to all fathers. And finally, one of our stakeholders of the Mandir, the youth group of this Mandir, I want to extend on behalf of the entire executive of the youth group a very, very happy Father's Day to all fathers. May Bhagwan bless you, may Bhagwan protect you, may Bhagwan always inspire you. What is the big deal about Father's Day, the third Sunday in the month of June? Well, I was told this morning that today is Father's Day and every other day is Mother's Day. So fathers enjoy the day because the other 364 and a quarter days would be Mother's Day. I'm just kidding with the light humor. But in our scripture, we recognize the position of parents in our lives, in the lives of our family, in our community, and in our country. This morning, singing Shiv Chalisa, we were reminded of Shiv Parivar and the beauty of the family of Lord Shankar. But more than that, many of us are very mindful of Ramcharitmanas. And one of the great examples and exemplars of being a father, of being a parent, is none other than Raja Dashrath. The Leela that is contained in Balkand and Ayodhya Kand of Ramayana give us, as parents and as fathers, a wonderful, wonderful example that we should all try to emulate. So, I was also asked about 2 days ago, what does being a father mean to you? What does being a father mean to you? And I had to pause and think about it because that is not sometimes a question that one is confronted with. Sometimes it's not something that we think about at all. And when days like today, Father's Day, comes around, there are mixed emotions that go around. For many children, including myself, even though I'm old, I'm still a child, we think about our father who is no longer with us physically. And it brings some sadness because we remember fondly the wonderful memories of our father. And sometimes that sadness is escalated or heightened because in many of us, if not all, there's some element of regret that I didn't do all that I could have, or I didn't say all that I could have said to my father when he was alive. And having missed that opportunity, it doesn't come back again. For many others, that heightened sense of awareness is not there because you've been able to do so much for your father while he was alive and while he was there that you have absolutely no regret. And if you are in that category, then Bhagwan bless you, you are very, very fortunate. For many others still, there is the role that is played as a father, even though you are not the biological father of a particular child or individual. So there are many individuals in society, many mothers who play the role of fathers, many grandparents who play the role of fathers, many uncles and aunts and other elders who play the role as fathers in our society. And Bhagwan bless you for doing that and doing it to the best of your ability. But in our tradition, while those things are viewed as unavoidable, the ideal setting Shri Parivar, the Raja Dashrath and his example, is to have both parents in the lives of a child or children. To have both parents in the life of a child or in the lives of children. Why? Because like so many things, we have certain competencies as individuals, we have certain skills as individuals, and certain traits, but we may not have all of them. And being parents is an example of that. For any single parent, you would recognize how difficult it is to be and to discharge your function as a parent. You are playing a dual role. And salutations to all single parents, for whatever circumstance that you are a single parent. May God give you the strength and the inspiration to do the best that you can, as you've been doing. But sometimes it is that persons abdicate their responsibility as a father, and I will focus on fathers this morning. So I was asked what it means to be a father. And I recall the statement of Nelson Mandela where he says, "It is an honor to be regarded as the father of the nation," as Nelson Mandela was to South Africa. But it is the greatest joy to be the father in a family. The greatest joy to be the father in a family. And when we look at the Katha in Ramcharitmanas of Raja Dashrath, his longing led him to his guru. His longing and his desire led him to his guru so that the appropriate rituals, the appropriate preparations, the appropriate circumstance, the appropriate time could have been advised to him so that he could have become the father of Prabhu Shri Ram, Lakshman, Bhaya, Bharat and Shatrughan. And that is important, that as persons aspiring to be fathers, we must ensure that we are prepared ourselves, that we have something to offer to our children. And I'm not speaking only now about material things. Material things is important. We must ensure that we are in a position to provide for the material needs of our children. We must be able to provide them with food, with shelter, with clothing. Those are the bare essentials that as fathers, as parents, we must be able to provide to our children. And therefore we must work assiduously and diligently in the legitimate ways to do that. So Raja Dashrath sought that advice when he was ready and when he was in a position, and so he was blessed with Prabhu Shri Ram and others. And when we look at their nurturing as infants, as young children and so on, we saw the fact that it was a team effort that was done in raising the children. And unfortunately in our society, for whatever reason, parents, and I will focus on fathers, many fathers abdicate that responsibility. Oh, I am too busy working, that is the mother's job to look after the children. I will go out there and I will earn, and I will bring the money in, and the mother will raise the child, and discipline the child, and guide the child, and instruct the child. So much so that even inadvertently, unwittingly, we don't recognize that we are removing an important influence that we ought to have in the lives of our children in terms of guiding them. And sometimes we don't recognize that even when we think we are guiding them, by the poor example that we provide, we are guiding them in the wrong direction. And little children in particular are like sponges. They look at you, they see what you do, and they try very much to replicate our actions because they look up to us. And when we do not engage in the proper actions, either in our words, how we speak in the home, how we speak to others, how we treat with others, or we may have a particular face when we're outside, oh, that is the particular face, but when we're inside, we have a completely different face. And the hypocrisy becomes very apparent to our children, and that leads to disenchantment, disillusionment, and our children then start to stray. Because the most powerful teacher
parents and fathers is example. There is no other more powerful teaching than our example. What is the example that we provide to our children? To be absent, to be cantankerous, to be abusive, to not be persons of truth, to say one thing but do something else. And so, like a gardener, as I was reminded, the seeds that we plant and the way that we tend to those seeds, how we water, nurture, clear the weeds and so on, will dictate the yield of fruit or flowers or tree or whatever. So if we abdicate our responsibility, then don't be surprised at the outcome. And I've seen too many parents come later on in the years of their children and say, Baba, I don't know what to do. My children are not listening. They're not doing this, they're not doing that. And when you investigate further, in many instances, not all, but many instances, you recognize that the shortcomings existed in the home and existed over a period of time. As you would say loosely, the horse already bolted and now you're trying to get the horse to come back. But don't give up, because everybody is capable of change. And that change must be meaningful. So if as parents we know that we have not done what we ought to do, it's not too late to try. And to show to your children that you are really trying. And that you're not just paying lip service to the try. That you really mean what you say and you're doing what you say, and it will make a difference over a period of time. Not instantaneously, but over a period of time. Raja Dashrath recognized the power and the need to have spirituality in his home. So his guru, Vasishtha Muni, was always there, guiding, directing, supporting, prescribing. Do we have spirituality in our home? Or is it that we perform puja once a year? And then it is really more of a social thing than a spiritual thing. Do we get up every morning and show our children that we are offering our puja, we are offering our jal, we are doing the things that are prescribed of us by Sanatana? That is the kind of tending that we require as the gardeners and upbringers and custodians of our children. So being a father, to me, is a tremendous honor, but it is an awesome responsibility. It is a responsibility that sometimes I am anxious whether I am discharging that responsibility to the best of my ability. Am I doing the utmost that I can as a father? Or am I falling short? And those are questions that I ask myself from time to time. I cannot provide the answer. The answer will come from my children. And that answer will change over time, because when they are younger and you enforce the discipline, then the children may not be pleased. But later on in life, when the discipline bears fruit so that you have productive citizens who add value, not only to themselves, but add value to society. So you bring up children who are not self-centered, but children who are selfless, who recognize not only what it means to be a good and contributing person and citizen, but what it means to give back to society, what it means to help others, what it means to have empathy. What is the use of all of the knowledge and all of the wealth and all of the trappings of life if you are not willing to share? And that is the kind of responsibility we want to direct. There's so many externalities as parents that our children are faced with. Their peers, the social setting, the external environment right now, the effects of the pandemic, and all of those things, that it is a difficult task, but a joyous one. And the fruit of that will be yielded in the future. Never think as parents that I'm doing this for my children today, so I expect something in return in the future. That is the wrong way to think about it. God has blessed you with children. There are so many people that would like to have and would like to be parents but are not so fortunate, they're not blessed. And Bhagwan has a reason for everything. And for those who are blessed, it is an opportunity to discharge your duty. And in discharging your duty without that expectation, the punya that is acquired as an aside is tremendous. And so, children, when you are blessed with parents who are trying, you too have the responsibility to try. Parents and fathers are not perfect by any means. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. We would be in a different group. And so you must recognize that your parents are sometimes, if not often, most times, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. But learn from those mistakes, but also learn from the positives. Do not try to be like your father, but try to be better than your father. And make sure that all of the good things, all of the wonderful things remain with you. The things that could have been done better, do them better. And do not use them as an excuse for your own shortcomings and for your own lack of willingness to try. And we see the end product of that. 4 wonderful brothers, Prabhu Shri Ram, Lakshman Bhaiya, Bharat and Shatrughan. And when we see their individual traits, having come from the lineage of Raja Dashrath, then we understand what we need to do and how we should act as parents and as fathers. This morning, I want to extend, as I said, a wonderful and very happy Father's Day to all fathers. May Bhagwan bless you. May Bhagwan inspire you. May we all continue to strive to do the best that we can, recognizing that being a father is such a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to enjoy that relationship with our children. And if we enjoy that relationship, then imagine how we can enjoy an even greater relationship with the divine. Ask yourself, if you cannot foster a meaningful relationship with your own children, how can we even think about fostering a relationship with God? God has given us the opportunity to recognize that relationship with our children, and by so doing, strive for an even greater relationship with God. Let us seize that opportunity. Let us seize that blessing, and let us make sure that we discharge it to the best of our ability. No second best. Will sacrifices have to be made? Of course. Those sacrifices have to be made. You know, sometimes I hear people saying, I want to have it all. You know, being a parent, you cannot have it all. Something must be sacrificed. Whether it is your career aspirations, whether it is the amount of material things you would like to have, whether it is the enjoyment of material things that you would like to have for yourself, whether it is unending time for your own personal pleasures and pursuits. You can't have it all. Which is more important? What do we prioritize? And I'm humbly suggesting to everyone, prioritize your duty as a father. Other things you will have time for later on. May God bless us all as we conclude this morning. Just a reminder of the current protocols. Curfew starts today at 10 o'clock, so we need to conclude to make sure that we are safely back inside at that hour. The restrictions remain in place for the following week. Let us continue to observe the protocols and practices that have been prescribed. Please, I beg of you, if you have the opportunity to get a vaccine, particularly now our elderly, those over 65 who are being targeted to get their vaccines, please, please, please go and get your vaccine. Go and get your vaccine and disregard all of the talk and chatter about what is better, what is not good, which vaccine, and that's so on. Any vaccine that you get right now is a good vaccine. So please afford yourself the opportunity once it is presented to you and go and get your vaccine. For children, if you have parents or grandparents who are over the age of 65, please pursue so that they can get their vaccines. Because when we look at the unfortunate brothers and sisters who've lost their life. 19 people yesterday alone. We cannot endanger our citizens and our parents and grandparents in this way. Please do so. For those of you who are celebrating your birthday in the upcoming week, may God bless you. Who are celebrating your anniversaries, may God bless you. For students who are preparing for the various exams, may the Divine Mother Saraswati Mata bless you. We conclude now with one bhajan, and then we will have closing arti to conclude. Jai Sitaram, everyone. join together in closing Aarti. Jai Jagadish Hare. We all join together as we sing lustily. Children who are at home with your parents, now is an opportune time, if you have a tali lit, to perform Aarti to your parents. Place a flower on their head if available. Perform Aarti. Bow and touch their feet. If you do not have a tali nearby, then simply hug your parents, particularly hug your dad today being Father's Day, and wishing all the best and all of your love. May God bless us all. We join you.
Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare, Bhat Jano ki sankat, Aap Jano ki sankat, Jagadish Hare. Om Jai Jagadish Hare.
Bless their Atma wherever they may be. May we remember their rich and wonderful legacy. Provide and comfort the persons who have recently lost their fathers. May you remember fondly the wonderful moments. May you not grieve or mourn for the loss of the father, but remember instead all of the wonderful and rich and beautiful lessons he's left. O Lord, protect us all from the effects of what is currently ongoing. Guide us, inspire us, guide all of our fathers, that they may truly discharge their duty. May they derive the strength from you, the inspiration from you, to be the best father possible. To all persons who perform the role as fathers, may you bless them. For, O Lord, you are father, you are mother, you are family, you are friend, you are knowledge, you are wealth, you are everything. We surrender ourselves to you. Let us join together, brothers and sisters, as we pray this morning. Hari Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Chasika Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amaneva Deva Om Satuma Satgamaya Namasoma Jyotirgamaya Vrijurma Amridam Namaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prince Bole Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai, Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Jagarbale Ki Maya ki Jai, Shubhadra Hanuman ki Jai, Prince Bole Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. To all those around you, sab going, Jai Jai Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. Please have a very wonderful day, fathers. Be blessed, enjoy your day. We ask you to join with us next week Sunday at the same time. We will be having a very special event online, which should be on Saturday coming, from the Bhagavad Gita class, and Shri Ani Maharaj, who is organizing. Look out for the emails inviting you to that session, which will be held virtually. And please, everyone, continue to stay safe, continue to do the wonderful things and the noble things, but also continue to take the precautions that we must all take.